Alright, episode 15, we're back, baby. My name is Amir, I'm your co-host with
Gaurav.
Welcome back to The Modern Farmer. We picked a name, we're back for episode 15. 5x3, dude, 15 episodes. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Silly idea. Jason showing up for an interview in 15 episodes deep. Let's go. Today we're trying wine. We got Bodacious Smooth Red. We've been on a little hiatus, for the past 3 weeks, right? Or 4 weeks. 3 weeks? I think 3-4 weeks, man. 3-4 weeks. Because I went to California. We never ended up filming that episode. Gaurav ended up going to Tomorrowland in Germany.
That was in Belgium.
Belgium. And then the entire week that he's back, it was his buddy's birthday. Not buddy's wedding.
Yeah.
And in brown culture, Punjabi culture, we're literally, weddings last an entire week, meaning that there's different events happening on separate days of the week. Not because that's how it works, it's just because there's so many different events that happen in a Punjabi cultural wedding.
The ritual ceremonies that have to happen.
That's right, they have to happen. So if I were to name you all of them, I'd probably get it all wrong. Nor do I know the order. I just know by the end of it, everyone's drunk, tired, and hungover at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing, and I was actually just a part of it too this summer for one of my good friends' wedding. And I'm going to be a part of it myself. I'm going to be the center of it.
This is the third one that I've done.
More of your friends have gotten married than mine.
Yeah, it sucks.
What do you mean it sucks? So you're depressed?
They just like, they go down like freaking pinballs.
That's it.
Yeah, they're just gone.
So what are we talking about here?
I don't know. I won some awards. I'm drinking water. I was watching YouTube.
Yeah.
2 Chainz has this thing like where he drinks like really expensive, or he does like eats and drinks really expensive stuff
On the podcast?
on YouTube, and he drank $100,000 water.
$100,000.
Yeah, $100,000. Okay.
Wait, so how much is this wine that we're drinking?
So I went to a liquor store that has their wine, dropped off some wine, then I ended up buying some wine because I had this great idea. Everybody's talking about canning wine. We had an episode about canning wine. So let's do a taste difference.
Let's do it.
Oh! We have a bottle of wine here, and then we have cans of wine over here.
I'm excited.
So let's taste if they taste different.
I never had can out of a wine. I never had wine out of a can before.
Me neither.
Ever.
Me neither.
Bodacious Smooth Red.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a variety. What is this? Bodacious Smooth Red. I guess Bodacious is the name of the company, or is the name of the wine? So we'll find out here. Name of the company, Smooth Red. So this is, I guess, their red wine. It's more of just targeted as the average wine drinker that likes red. It doesn't say Merlot. It doesn't say Cab Sav, or it doesn't have the varietal on it, nor does it have the year on it.
It says Smooth Red.
That's all it is.
Which is usually a blend of different red wines.
Is that essentially what we're
they're
looking
like leftover, and they decided to like add stuff to it to make it palatable.
What does the title mean to you right off the rip?
Bodacious? It's like, it seems like feminine.
Okay, I was like, oh, I got some Bodacious wine. Not sure it doesn't really hit on the masculine.
It sounds tasty too, like, you know.
But
bodacious.
it does, yeah. So it doesn't really hit on the masculine.
It sounds
it's more like a.
It sounds like it's crunchy and tasty.
Crunch?
Crunchy and tasty,
This
like
said
bodacious.
crunchy to wine.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's 12.5% alcohol, like just an average red would be. 750 milliliters. And on the back it says, with aromas of raspberry and blackcurrant, carefully crafted from fully matured grapes, harvested at the peak of ripeness. And that's all it says. It's
So,
full-bodied.
I think it's a good time to point out the difference between the packaging.
Yeah.
Look, obviously the packaging has a can on there versus a bottle, right?
So we have to, we're, just to make this clear, my brother's holding a box that has 4 cans in it, where I'm holding a regular bottle of wine, 750 milliliters, that you associate with the dry, wine.
Yes.
So now he's comparing the box. So tell us a bit more.
Let's look at the packaging.
Yeah.
So, which side's the front? I mean, they could all really be fronts, but the front says Bodacious Smooth Red. It says 4 times 250 ml, 12.5% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's a liter of wine that I'm holding in my hand. And then if you look at the packaging, like on the back of that, they had like tasting notes and stuff. On the back of this, it says, for all of your wine moments. And then it has pictures that say camping, picnics, backyard, patio. So this is basically like taking beer out to like a picnic, but it's wine. That's how it's packaged. And it says rich, bold, juicy, full-bodied, with aromas of raspberry and blackcurrant, which is exactly on the back of that. the bottle, carefully crafted from fully matured grapes harvested at the peak of ripeness.
I think that they should have went just with the regular fishnets, whatever these things are called, the rings around the beer cans. I think she should have just went with that, because when I'm looking at comparing this with current culture and what I see on social, I see people taking pictures of their cans in their hands, which I'm sure you could, opening this box up and doing it with your hand. But when you walk through the liquor store, and I was there obviously the other day because summertime when we drink alcohol. I'm not alcoholic, but I do drink alcohol in summertime. So let's just make that clear right there. So I was walking through the liquor store, and I walked through the cold section where the nudes were and the neutrals were, like those drinks which aren't hard alcohol, but they're they're like sodas. Like it's like a vodka soda with a flavor, like a lemon flavor or peach flavor.
Yeah.
And I always see those with my friends taking pictures or Snapchats of those and holding a bottle. So I would associate, if I would walk through a liquor store, like my subconscious and like my motor senses, if I saw that in an open setting without a box around it, that would click for me. If I see this in a box, it's more pretty, it's more well done, but like keeping it simple and stupid, I think that having it in a can and in front of your face is more an effective marketing tool sitting on the shelf opposed to having it in a box. My initial setting. However, this box is freaking gorgeous.
So I'll let you ramble for a while, but when I was at the liquor store, they had one single cans.
Yeah.
And they had the box cans.
Wicked. So you could buy them in singles and you could buy them just
yes.
The singles the same size?
The singles the same size or whatever's in here.
Yep.
250 milliliters. But they're like, I looked at two different companies, they're anywhere between $5.50 and $7.50 for a single.
Sure. But like I'm talking about, you know, the fish, I don't know what the hell it's called, the rings.
You talk
the
about
plastic
the rings.
rings
Oh, I
that
understand.
Around.
But that looks cheaper, dude.
Does it look cheaper?
It looks way cheaper.
So the bottle itself was $12.50.
The bottle of Bodacious
yes.
Smooth Red, right? This company is from...
It could be from freaking Tokyo, I don't care.
It doesn't say where it's from.
Bodacious Smooth Red bottle in a regular 750ml glass is $12.50. Very good price point.
Yes.
Awesome price
I
point.
think it's between $12 and $15.
Okay, so how much was the box?
This is 1 liter.
Yeah.
So it's more wine than the bottle, right? And it's $19.20 something. Plus tax probably.
They should have freaking put a picture of a wine bottle on there and half of it or a quarter of it on that thing.
But I feel like this caters to a totally different demographic. This bottle is like engineered for people between like 30 and above. This is for like 19 to like 30.
I think price matters, but from my perspective, the can is not more expensive. It's just more volume, so you have to charge more money for it. I think would make sense. Because that's one of the biggest hurdles we have in regards to canning your wine. It's just the price point jumps so high when you're purchasing one can. Do you know what I mean?
The price point jumps so high when you're purchasing one can. Basically, the cost of production for the canning wine is probably a little bit more than the bottling.
Why should the customer care?
It doesn't make sense though.
I know it sells convenience.
But the customer cares because you pass off the cost to the customer.
Whoa, say that again.
You pass off the cost to the customer. Like, you can't sell this can if it's 750 mils for the same price as this if it costs more money to make.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. We gotta figure it. I don't know if it costs more money. I have no clue.
I have no
Anyways,
idea.
let's crack this thing open. Let's go through the opening experience.
Let's do the bottle first.
Bottle first?
To the bottle first.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
So it's screw cap. It's not cork. Really easy to work with customers. Better for the wine than corking. Basically, you don't need a corkscrew. No one has a corkscrew anymore. It's
I disagree. I think
better.
Corkscrew.
Oh, buddy, I've done so many wine tastings. People don't buy the wine when it's corked because they don't have a corkscrew.
But, if people are wine connoisseurs and they really want to know more about the wine that they're drinking, they will actually sniff their corkscrew and smell it to know that if it's gone bad or not gone bad before they drink it.
That's the problem with corks. The wine goes bad with a cork. With a screw cap, that happens 0.001%.
Red wine can be aged, correct? Right?
Yes.
So corks provide the ability for it to oxidize, so the oxygen and the chemicals to go up and through it.
This has the same technology.
The screw cap can do the same thing.
Yeah.
No, it can't.
100% it can. It's more common to have it
Mind
not.
blown.
It's more common to have it not let it age, but there's screw caps that you can buy to have it age. So you can make like a really expensive wine and have like the cap let it a little tiny bit of air in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we were just at Robert Mondavi. We at Nappa Valley, went to Robert Mondavi, right?
Yes.
And I went through. It was a $45 experience. Me and Manpreet, my fiance, went through the wine tour experience. The wine tour was like staying in the grounds. Everything was boring. Because it was obviously a very nice, fancy facility, so I had something to do to it. But it was just so out of like, I don't know. It was just kind of crazy. It was just a big show facade. But sitting down and learning about the wine, I got to learn about these things because it did provide such a good experience. And that was one of the things that I took away. Because I was thinking to myself, like, why do they have corks? It's probably just for show, and people just perceive that to be good wine or more expensive wine has corks. But that really makes sense that it allows oxygen to be released, and I didn't know that caps could do the same thing.
The thing with that is when we first switched to screw caps, I was more interested in buying the other ones, like the one that I air in. But I talked to the supplier. He's like, no one buys those. They prefer, if they're gonna go screw cap, they're gonna go with like the closures that don't let any air in.
Why don't you just put corks into the expensive one? Anyways.
No, of course.
The Mantois. Why don't we just put corks in?
We already have corks in those.
Yeah, exactly. That would make so much more sense because you're actually adding to the value, aren't you?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I know because you're.
It depends on the customer.
Beating convenience. So true.
It depends on the customer.
Right?
Yeah. If you go to a liquor store, there's a lot of $45 plus wines that had screw cap.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In Australia, you can't find any wine without screw cap.
That's like one of the most talking points of a bottle and caps and corks. So let's move on. Next thing.
Let's crack it.
Crack it? Crack it open? You don't need to shake it. You don't need to smell the bottle itself.
Yeah. But one thing I should know. I mean, I might be slandering this company, but it says the red wine is cellared in Canada from imported and domestic wines. That means this is an international Canadian blend, which means that this wine could have come from, like, less than 50% of this wine could have come from a different country.
No way.
Yeah. So it's called an international cellared blend or something like that. ICB, I think that's what it's called. Maybe that's wrong, but there's some sort of term like that. So that means like this is like a giant company that imports that wine, but all they do is they get like 51% Canadian wine and put it in this.
Shit, that's
Maybe it's not 51-49, but it's definitely majority Canadian wine, minority other wine.
Why do you think they do that? It's because it's just cheaper grapes or cheaper wine?
Cheaper.
More
A
cost
lot
effective.
cheaper. Yeah, you can go to, like I was in Spain, you get a wine, you get a bottle of wine for under €1.
That's crazy.
Right?
Okay, crack it open.
Let's do it.
You smell the cap?
Yeah. It smells like the wine.
I don't think that smelling the cap really has anything to do with it.
No, I don't think so either.
Smelling the cork may have.
Okay. Let's pour some for Jason first.
Hold on, you gotta smell the. You can't you smell the wine itself? You don't smell much. You need a decanter. So for red wine, you're supposed to let it sit after it's been cracked. Let some of the oxidation or whatever.
You smell like red fruit, like cranberries. That's what it smells.
You smell a little bit of it.
But yes and no. Like you can.
There's fruit flies.
The fruit flies love this place because it's a winery. Okay, so you got to get over it.
Okay, crack it. Pour it.
There's actually 4 tanks right now that are open because I didn't have time to clean the lids.
I think that you're drunk right now. So you
No, I didn't drink any wine today. Okay, there you go. If you want more, just let me know. We're gonna be drinking out of the can today too, so.
Why you gotta pour me so much, man? Thank God.
You pour it yourself.
What? No, what? This is. What's the service around here?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is this? Okay. Should I teach you about how I learned from Robert Mondovi?
Tell me.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you how I do it.
Support it. Let it sit there, okay? Now, what you do is pick it up. Put your nose literally in it. Go for a little smell. Some aroma there.
Yeah.
Metal. I smell crab shell. You know, like hard metal?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, you give it a nice vigorous turn just like this. You can also admire the color and see, oh, it's nice deep red. Very little light going through it. You can look at the legs as well if you like to. Some people say that it has reference to alcohol. I have no clue. Some people say that it doesn't. I think everyone's really opinionated on it. So, I just coated my mouth, coated my entire tongue to really get my whole system ready for this wine, because this is a powerful impact of flavor that I didn't know about it.
I like it that you're explaining this now, because I want to go through the experience of the can, because it's gonna be totally different.
Okay, but like, you could literally knock my whole
excited.
experience too. Let me just see if I'm doing a good job or not. You can give me a rating experience after this, and I'll actually appreciate it. Okay, you can tell me how I can improve. So, next thing I would do is, after swirling it and after I've had a taste, go for another big sniff. Not as aromatic as I've smelled from other wineries. Very not as aromatic. Plum. I smell plum right off the bat. Black plum. Black plum is not very, doesn't have much smell to it, but it's refreshing. And this wine, for a red wine, actually seems refreshing. It's something that I would have for lunchtime. Definitely. After a sandwich, I'd have it for lunchtime, have just half a glass, and just go to sleep for a bit afterwards. I spilled some wine and Jason's laughing at me right now. Okay. Let's clean that up. Now let's go in for a second sip.
I feel like you can kind of smell raspberries.
Now we're gonna go for a third sip. Before we have that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold it in our mouth and watch all that strongness go away, and then the flavors come out.
I taste orange. There's like orange peel.
You started tasting more of the flavors, right? After you let it sit.
100%.
It can be a bit hard because you're so used to just swallowing it.
Yeah.
But once you put it on your tongue, you let it sit there for a little while. That strongness, that alcohol bite kind of goes away,
Yeah.
and you start tasting more of what's actually inside the wine. I really appreciate that experience.
I taste like black currant.
Mm-hmm. It's just a good mix of fruit, right?
Yeah. It's easy drinking. Like it doesn't bite you. That's the whole point of this wine. It's like drink it quick,
I like it.
get drunk.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Very, very fruity. Do you think I'd have this wine all the time? For my own personal taste? No, I wouldn't. I like wine which has more saltiness to it, more bitterness, more like a steaky wine, something that you have with a steak that brings up more salt and butter. It really makes your taste bud ooze. That's the type of wine I like. I don't know if that really makes sense to you. But a Montois really has it in it. You know what I mean? It has a strong finish that stays with you, lingers for a while, and actually changes throughout the finish. This doesn't have that. This is more of like an immature young wine, right?
This is a wine you drink to get drunk.
Mm.
It's a wine for people who are 19 plus.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a liquor store, you're looking to spend under $20, you're gonna buy at least 2 bottles of this wine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the type of wine is. You sell a lot of it. Like everybody knows Bodacious. Like you go to liquor stores, they have stacks of Bodacious at their liquor stores because it sells.
Hell
And
yeah.
this is a wine that, sure, you're on a spectrum where you like that salty, buttery, big wine.
That's right. That's
where,
right.
as this person's on a perspective, this on the whole other side, where it's like you drink it quick, it doesn't taste like much, it's easy wine drinking. That's where you drink a lot of it.
I know.
Yeah,
That's so true.
yeah. It's like, do you want to sell 5 bottles that are $50, or do you want to sell 20 bottles or you want to sell 50 bottles at $12,
Yeah.
right?
I'd give this wine a score out of 10 without using 7. I'd give it a 4.5. That's a fail, right? I really want to give it a 6 though. I'd give it a 6.
It's definitely not a 7.
It's not a 7, no way.
You can't pick 7. It's not an 8.
It's not an 8, no way.
Yeah.
It's a 5.5. This wine, 100% to 5.5.
Yeah.
It's passable, does the job. You can drink it when you want to. Don't make a big fuss about it.
Like,
Everybody will enjoy it.
Definitely drink shittier wine,
Yes.
but you can definitely drink better wine.
I drank horrible wine from. I drank horrible Syrah the other day. It was so cheap. It was $11, and I was like, man, I just want to buy a red bottle of wine. It freaking sucked. Where was it from? I have no clue. But it was a Syrah. And I've had good Syrahs before.
You know where you get Syrah from? Australia.
Australia. Get the Syrah from Australia.
Get it from Australia.
What do you rate this wine?
Barely above 5.
Barely, right?
Taste wise, barely above 5. Sales is probably a 10.
But I really like the package, don't you?
Like you're spending way more money on the packaging than actually making the wine. Yeah.
Crack
I feel
open
like-
the freaking bodacious
I feel like one
carrots.
thing you missed was the color.
I talked about it, buddy.
The color is really important when you make wine because you can tell if what kind of job they did with the color.
I honestly don't care about the color.
No,
I'm
the
not
color.
racist.
The color tells you from a winemaking point of view
Yeah.
what kind of job they did and what kind of grapes they used.
So what do you see there? Because the
Like-
average consumer has no clue.
Obviously not, but like the color is thick to the point that you can't see inside, but it's still light. Like if you look at the edges, it's still like a bright red,
Yeah, that's right.
which means like it's almost like a new wine. Because like an older wine, you usually like brown because it mellows out.
Yeah, so it's really
On
young,
the
it's
edge.
immature. How about I open it this time? 'Cause you can taste it. How about that? Okay? This is not the stuff that I buy. I'm over here just trying to party. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to the bottle. White cans with burgundy red, pinkish fonts. Okay.
The wine.
It's
kinda
pressurized
gives
because
me,
when you're
like, a
pressing it,
slight
it has a
headache.
little bit of carbon dioxide or something inside there to kind of really pressure it a bit. So I'm gonna go for the. You ready? Listen carefully. That was a solid noise. That was a solid classic noise.
It's like popping cork.
That was a solid noise. Okay, I went for smell. You wanna go for a smell?
This smells like nothing.
Literally nothing.
So look at the experience between the glass and the can. Compare it completely. You can't see the color, right? You can't smell it. You're looking at stainless steel, like you're looking at aluminum versus looking at the wine. So it eliminates smell, it eliminates sight, and it pretty much eliminates like the experience of holding a bottle and enjoying it.
Okay, Jason and I are gonna crack ours too. You already have.
But it's all about camping, picnics, backyard, patio.
inconvenience.
It's portable, chills quickly.
Tell me, sir. Now, what's the next thing to do here, sommelier?
Just drink it.
Just
How are you
drink
supposed
it?
to drink it? Like, just sip it. Like, okay, if it's really giving you convenience, you shouldn't have to have a glass.
Holy shit! I just drank wine out of a freaking can. It hits harder out of the can, man.
Oh, it tastes way worse.
Tastes freaking crap out of the can.
It tastes way worse.
Hit my back of the throat. Maybe it's the way that I'm drinking too, because if you're pouring it right to the back of your throat, it hit it harder. Am I wrong or?
That's the whole experience between the glass and the can.
Yeah, so true.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. Like you control the experience someone gets with the can, but it won't be the best experience. Because all they're doing is squigging it back.
Jeez, I can't drink this stuff, man.
Right?
It's not good.
So he wins. He wins the debate
Mhm.
about canning wine.
Oh, the debate about canning wine?
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
if I feel like if this is sparkling, it would make a difference.
Yeah.
People like, I was at my friend's wedding. At the reception, they had nudes. People were drinking nudes.
Oh yeah, I drank news the other day. It's freaking great.
Yeah,
I think that we should just can sangria, to be honest.
yeah, we can.
Holy shit! Now you said yeah we can. On the other episode, freaking 18. I don't know what it was. Episode what? Maybe 9. You and I went at it in regards to canning wine. Now you're saying we can.
This is exactly why. The reaction you got. What was that?
No, I agree with you.
Like the wine is shit compared to the bottle, like the glass.
This wine tastes completely different out of a can than it tastes out of a glass.
This is a great experiment.
I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah.
However, I still think that this has its place in the market. What's it called? Marketplace, because of how convenient, how fun, and how cool it is. New to neutral is a freaking awesome label. It's so simple. It gets to the point. We need to have something similar. Obviously, not the same. Offbeat, our style in a sangria. But it needs to have like a fun name. It needs to be like Farmer Sangria or Farm Wife Sangria.
I'm still thinking about this, okay? So, I'm thinking someone comes, liquor store, buys this, drinks the wine out of the can. Are they going to go back and buy another can?
Hell yeah.
You think so?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Out of this bodacious one?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about ours.
No,
If somebody-
I'm thinking
yes.
about bodacious.
No, I wouldn't.
Like if they came and bought the 4-pack, like it would be so hard to get through the 4.
I feel like
Unless
somebody,
you have 3 friends.
I feel like this company literally just put this in the can and just trying to see what happens. Overall, fun experience, fun packaging it. We already know what this wine tastes like and what it's good for. It's for someone who really wants to kind of just take it to a party or pick up an easy drinking bottle of wine, which is not picky or they don't have any preference in regards to what they're having it with or what's going on. It's just simple, casual, run-of-the-mill bottle of wine.
Your trips, man. Talk about your trips a little. Maybe something you learned.
About our trips,
Shit.
chat that up a bit.
Damn.
Tell everybody.
You were more
geeks.
partying, but you must have learned something on like
Myself?
something. Yeah.
I always, man. My mom always tells the school's always open. Always says school's always open. Doesn't matter where you go, what you're doing, you're always learning. So when we went to California, our intent was to just take it easy and road trip. We landed in San Francisco.
Damn.
We drove up to Nappa Valley, which was awesome. We went to a couple different wineries. One of the wineries we went to was a family-run, small. We ended up meeting the daughter, and it was called Troika. And we met her father and her mother as well, which were there at the tasting room. It was, I think, a Friday. So that's what they essentially do full time, is just work out of the tasting room. And the wine that they brought out was okay. It was good. It was not bad. But they brought out Pinot Noir, best red wine I've ever tasted. I actually only packaged carry-ons, and when you have a carry-on, you can't take liquids over 100 milliliters. So I paid for a freaking check bag just because that wine, for that one bottle of wine.
Bring it on. Let's try it.
To bring it back. Bring it on. Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Yeah, right.
Let's do it.
Find me another bottle of the exact same vintage. Bring it here, and I'll try
I'll ship it out.
Let's do it. But they don't ship wine anymore. They don't distribute. They sell everything out of the tasting room now. Everything.
You call them. I'm sure they'll ship it out.
I'll ask her. Everything's sold out of the tasting room now. They used to distribute. They don't do it anymore. Maybe you've heard it because they used to do it.
Why
so
don't they
maybe,
do it anymore?
no clue. I didn't ask him about it. During my experience about being Robert Mondavi and being at the other wineries that we experienced, because that day we tasted wine, and however a couple days afterwards when we were going to Santa Barbara, because we made our way down to San Diego, we stopped at another place called Santina's. I can't remember what it was called. But however, there was this one winery there. I think it was called Southern Rock Winery or South Rock. It started with an S. And their tasting experience was so on point. Everything was outside. They had tables on top of barrels, just like we have wine barrels, and our bars are just set up like that. So they have tables on top of barrels, and it was really lush grassy area. They had areas where you could lean up against the bar. They had areas where you could sit down and have a picnic up on a table, and everything was that reddish clay soil, with beautiful lawn chairs, beautiful wood architecture, grapevines flowing. You're on the side of a mountain, and we got there around 10:30, 11. So that was the first place we stopped that day, and around 11:30, right when they were supposed to be opening, it was packed, like dead packed. Everybody like was showing up in beautiful Porsches, Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, high-end people were showing up. we ended up meeting some lady. Her name was Susan, and she's just a teacher, but she joined their wine club, purchased a case of wine at that point when she was sitting there tasting with her friends, and she bought us a glass each. And she did it because she just loved the experience.
She bought you a glass each.
Yeah, she bought us a glass each.
She didn't work there. She was a customer.
We met a lady named Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met a customer. Sorry, we met a customer. Her name was Susan. She
You made friends with her.
Why you keep correcting all my language?
No, I'm just trying to say. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm lost right now.
Are you lost?
No.
So we met someone. Her name was Susan, meaning another customer there. We made friends with her. She ended up buying us a glass each. She actually joined the wine club, and that was really cool to see someone who is a teacher. However, she was single. She was close to, I think, 40 years old. She hasn't been married, so obviously she doesn't have kids. The income is staying with her, and she's kind of just doing what she wants. She was there with her friend, and she's just taking it easy. And so obviously she has more disposable income. So she's not our ideal client. However, she may just be our ideal client. The age group may not matter, but because she was single and she had all the disposable income, or maybe our ideal client is 20, 24, 25, which is single and not married yet. At a price point which is in the hundreds of $400 to $500 to be a part of a wine club.
Did you see the value the wine club gave to the person?
I don't think that I really tapped into the value myself, but seeing her purchase the wine club was so cool because she's like, I'm a part of this now, or I'm a part of that, and she gets to brag about it with her friends. So seeing that was so cool.
Did you see like a brochure or card of it, of the wine club?
Yes. I took pictures of that to bring back.
Okay.
To show to you and everybody else. But the biggest thing that I really saw there is that, first off, they don't take money up front. Second off, they get you wasted. You can leave that area and go to another wine tasting area and order a different part of the thing. They're really relaxed on it. It doesn't matter much to them. They're super chill on you drinking wine. And maybe that's just because they're in a different secluded spot and not that many people come check on them. But they never even checked my ID, never checked Manpreet's ID. They don't give a shit. Maybe just because they knew they were going to be really busy or what's going on. They're just super chill.
This was California, right?
California, right?
Where in California?
In close to Santa Barbara, some of the West Coast,
so
Midway.
The alcohol, like you have to be 21 to drink.
Yeah.
Because it's the States.
Yeah, but when we were in San Diego, they were checking people's ID which were 40. I could tell they're white here and they're white here in the beard.
Okay, so they let you in without IDing you. You might look over 21, sure. Manpreet, that's debatable if she looks over 21 or not.
Yeah.
Right? They never ID'd you. You said they got people wasted.
Yeah.
Right? Which here in BC would be a big no-no.
I think,
right?
Really emphasizing the word wasted is a bit extreme.
But they were drinking and they were obviously inebriated.
Yes, that's right.
Right? So,
before checking your ID, before taking any money, before saying anything.
Yeah.
They just, what do you want to try? Let's do it. They're super personable, super down to your level, offer you drinks, go have a seat, take it easy, don't worry about it, enjoy your glass, take a picture of it, take it easy, chill.
I get it.
But they couldn't do that experience in a tasting room. They had it all outside, all in the open, beautiful area. It's freaking California. How many days of the year does it rain there? Very little.
They're in a drought.
I don't know about that. I haven't checked the world forecast, right? Everybody is different in regards to when is the drought, what isn't. However, do you understand exactly what I'm saying? Is that they have the capabilities of doing that. I don't think that we don't have the capabilities of doing that. I think that we should be doing something like that in our freaking wedding barn area over there. And like our mom was saying that Cindy came here and she's looking at the lounge and how to set it up. I think it's a big mistake. We should full stop on where the lounge is being set up right now. We should set the lounge up or the wine tasting room up over in the wedding barn area with the other buildings set up over there and have all August, every single freaking day or 4 days out of the week of July and August is set up and everybody knows about it, where people can come here and drink wine during the day with their friends and family for a wine tasting area, and that's just what we do July and August. And we start there. We start it next year. We start the Instagram and everything going now and getting attention out there. The next year we're going to be doing this in this area. We take the photos now because it's beautiful, nice and sunny. And coming year we get that rockin', where that we have full-time staff. We have everything set up. We have food and desserts, everything up there. It has to get set up now. One person has to spearhead it. It has to be perfectly well done. That's exactly how wine tasting and a launch of any type of campaign or service or service oriented experience has to operate. One person has to have a vision. One person has to know exactly what they want to get across to customers. If it's quality, if that's what they have at their forefront, they should stick to that. And that should be their baby, and they should be the one in charge. They should be the one that's making sure that every single customer experience that themselves or the employees are having with the customers in that setting is 10 out of 10.
Okay, I'm gonna back you up a bit. Okay, just like
Drop the hammer.
just like it rains in BC more than it rains in California.
Yep.
Right? There's things you can control and not control about where you are and where your business is. Right? So, like, saying you're going to do that next year, like, it's 100%. I'm down to do it. But there's laws and regulations that need to be followed to get this stuff accomplished. Right? It's boring, but it's part of the business. Right? We're talking about the lounge that we have going for the business right now. Moving the lounge is gonna take, like, from our previous experience, probably take another 3 years to get that done.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
Nope.
Okay, you're saying that we should move the lounge from the where it is now to up to the tasting to the wedding barn.
Or the winery barn.
What you can do instead of that is you can get a special events license that goes forever for a specific building.
Regardless of how we go
allowed
about
to do that, right? So the lounge, like, changing the lounge, I'm down for it. It's more about strategic planning and getting it done properly.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I understand there's obstacles in front of this, and I understand there's different things that need to accomplish. But all I'm just saying is that value perspective and customers coming in and having a glass of wine and doing it with their friends, the location of where we're currently set to do it is faulty.
Oh, 100%. I've been like this since day one.
So, for that to be
Day
actually
one.
a good idea for us to do, it should be happening over up top. 100%. It's from what I've seen.
It depends. 80%, look, goes back to the math, right? Everything for me is about math, right? People, there's 100% customers that come to our farm. 80% of them come on a regular basis, right? You could say. And then out of that 80%, only 20% know that we are a winery. Why is that?
I don't know, why is that, Gaurav?
I think the biggest reason is where our tasting room is located. It's not visible. A second reason is probably to do with that we're a farm, family farm, and we're not catered toward that demographic.
I think our wine tasting room is set up to where it's specifically designed to provide an experience, which is very binary.
Oh, 100%.
Come here, sit here, taste our wine, and leave. If you like it, buy a bottle. I don't think it's set up based off the perspective of providing experience.
Oh, 100%.
So that's what I'm trying to get at. If we want to provide an experience, the location of where we currently have applied for our lounge license is incorrect. If we want to provide a better experience, I think that it should incorporate something which is unique, something which is authentic to us, something which is outside, because people love being outside and having that patio season, especially during July and August. And that is the way to go about it. I know that we have the hindrance of weather, but I'm trying to work with what we have. And the way to go about it would be just specifically initially would be to open a specific time of the year, which is easily controlled, easy to manage, nothing that needs to get built, nothing that needs to get designed around it. It's just very controlled. You only do it for a specific amount of time. Same thing that I'm trying to do with the Potato Festival. Mom and Grilleen are pressuring me to open up for every single day, all the way throughout those 2 weekends. But the reason why I don't want to do that is because I know we're not going to be able to control the quality. We're not going to be able to make all the products that we need to make to provide that we've been marketing for. And we're not going to be able to just provide that experience that people want for every single day. But I know we can provide it for those days because it's essentially everybody's aware about it for those 4 days or 5 days that we have open for our Potato Festival, because there's control around it. Starting things with small control in very small amounts sets the direction, sets the tone, provides everybody a taste, and gets everybody inside the same room. That's my perspective on it.
Great. Okay, let's move on to your vacation. You got a little bit tangent there.
Yeah. Wine hit it. So what about? So I.
Let's go back. Okay, you went from the family small run business where you bought a Pinot Noir. I don't know how much it cost.
Yeah.
But you ended up buying a bag to check it.
Yeah, because it was so good.
For it, right?
It was so buttery, full bodied. It was awesome.
You probably spent like $150 on that Pinot Noir.
About $100.
Yeah, US.
Yeah.
So that experience, because it was family run, you went to a tasting room, you tried the wine, and you loved it.
Because the wine was so good, is why.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then you went to another winery. They had a really fun experience. You've met someone. They became a wine club member right then and there. That really excited you about the winery, and it said, "Oh wow, this winery is doing a good job. They're getting this teacher to spend $300 to $400 on the wine, and they're doing a great job." And then you went to Robert Mondavi, and you saw that they're a very commercial winery. They just kind of put you through a wine tour. They tell you specific facts, and then you go try the wine.
My overall experience, the best part that I had, the best thing that I want to share is that every single place focused on something that they did well. The place that I went with Robert Mondavi was the wine tasting. It was unreal. It was so cool. I recorded the whole conversation. I can send it to you. The place that I went to, that Southern Rock place, it was such a beautiful setting to be in. And Troika, the wine was unfreaking believable. It was so good. Better than both of those places. The Troika wine was so good. They knew exactly the best samples to provide because Manpreet loved one and I loved one. We have completely different taste buds, but they had made really, really good wine. So I thought that was awesome. They didn't really focus on the tasting. They didn't focus on the experience because it was just a regular old tasting room, but the wine was so good. So that's my biggest takeaway, is that every single place that I went, they were successful because they figured out what they do well and they stuck to it. They focused on their strengths.
Very good.
My trip was sick. Partied very little. Took it very easy. Didn't focus on work.
You partied very little.
Very little.
The way you said that. Party.
Very
Just
little. Very little. Yeah. It was good. It was a good trip.
That's good shit.
What about you, buddy?
Damn, my trip makes me like a little bit like PTSD. I get a little bit PTSD from my trip.
What happens?
Oh my god, man. Basically, it was my friend's stag, right? My friend has the genius idea of having a stag for 1 week and going to one of the craziest music festivals in the world.
Yeah.
And then coming back the same day, going to his first event for the wedding, and then going from there to the wedding week.
Freaking nuts.
The guy's an animal. We made it through. We're okay.
Nuts.
But I have PTSD. Okay? The first 2 days went to Amsterdam. We did everything you usually do in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You know? Like, to kind of tell you other stuff we did. There's other things that were amazing. Like, we were sitting at, like, the canals of Amsterdam. This random guy comes in a boat. He's like, "Oh, you want a boat tour?" And there's, like, 8 of us. And we're like, "Hell yeah, we want a boat tour." And he took us for a boat tour. Took us underneath random places. And we had a blast that day. We were there for 2 nights. Then we took a train to Belgium. Belgium. And then that's when it started with the festival. The festival, like the way they do the festival, like you're spending over 4 figures. Like not a lot over 4 figures, but 4 figures to get a ticket. This ticket includes multiple things. Like it includes like your train ticket to the festival. Mm-hmm. Like you get to the train station, the people from Tomorrowland, they have this whole section to themselves. They give you a package. In that package, you get your bracelet. On that bracelet, you buy pearls. It's like it's like buying like market money, but you're buying pearls to put on that bracelet. And everywhere you pay in Tomorrowland, you're paying using that bracelet. So, like you spent like, I don't know, I spent like 350 pearls when I was there, and it goes from Canadian dollars to euros to pearls, and obviously Canadian dollars to euros is like $1.50 more, and then the pearls were like another $1.50 more than euros. So you're spending a lot more money than you think you're spending, because you're spending like 5 pearls on like your food, but you're also spending like $15 Canadian on your food. So I found that really interesting. Right when you get in, there's like this giant lineup. You have to go through. They like drug search you. You can't have any drugs in the festival. You get your tent. You have to go to your campground, set up your tent yourself. Right? There was 6 of us, and we set up the tent, had fun like doing that, and then the music festival starts right away. Like the first day is a Thursday night. There's this thing called a gathering. So it's literally like there was 250,000 people going to this festival that one weekend, right? So like we're in this like giant ass crowd, like insane, and there's different DJs playing, like sick DJs, and that went to like 1 a.m. and that was like compared to the rest of like the weekend, that was like nothing, you know. The Friday, you get up early because you can't sleep. The music starts playing like at 6 a.m. Right? You go to the showers. They have like communal showers where you like, it's indoor, but it's also outdoor. You can do both. You have to pay to take the shower. Probably $6 because I spent 2.5 pearls.
Holy shit!
Right? And then it's really well done. Like insane. Like my friends, I haven't really been to a lot of music festivals. My friends have been to music festivals, and they said Tomorrowland was probably the most organized music festival they've ever been to, because you have like 10 or 15 stages you can go to. Each stage they play a different musician, so like you're like throughout the day, like you're going to different categories, and they're all house music. They have the main stage where they play the like obviously like the Arm van Buuren's. I don't know how to say the guy's name, but he's like one of the sickest house music guy. Probably the sickest set I went to was on the Friday night. It was this guy called Eric Press. He freaking like it wasn't even about the music, it was about the show. Like he had this hollow sphere, like this basically like this circle that he's doing his music in, like he's DJing in, and like the hollow sphere would turn into like the planet. It would turn into an eye, and the eye would be moving. And like it was like
even if you don't like music, you have fun there, right?
Oh hell yeah! Like I don't.
Like, obviously, not everybody loves music, but I'm saying even if you didn't like that experience, music, you still have fun.
It was so much fun, so much fun. Like
would you go back there
for one day? Like 4 nights is too much. I'd probably go there for like 1 night, or maybe 2 nights. But like 4 nights.
You probably can't have the full experience if you don't go for 4 nights.
No man, you're too tired by the Sunday.
Can you do 1 night, or is it?
You can do 1 night. You can't, like we did the whole package, which is insane.
Would people do 2 nights?
Yeah.
2 nights is probably more fun.
It's probably more fun, but yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was epic. Like
that's
it was
crazy.
Insane. It was
a lot of people were there. Were they foreigners or were they locals or what?
Oh, there was people there from over 200 countries.
It's all over the world.
Yeah, that's more than the Olympics.
That's insane.
It's insane, dude. It's crazy.
So, like 15 years, right? Someone had the idea to set this up and put it and present it and organize it and do it. But look at the growth curve that these people have had over 15 years. They've had 250,000 people, like you're saying. They're all paying 1,000. How much money are they paying just to attend this festival? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? How much?
Yeah.
What would you think the average outward cost would be Canadian?
Like we spent over $1,000 Canadian
each to attend.
Just to attend, like not including the
I understand,
plane.
but while you're there, you spend how much more, maybe?
Oh, I probably spent $500 more.
So say $1,500 over 250,000 people is close to $400,000. Okay.
More than that.
Sorry,
It's like $40 million.
40 million?
It's like.
So I want to say 400,000. That's completely wrong.
250,000 times.
Yeah, let's do that.
1,000. You add 3 zeros.
Holy shit! It's 400 million.
Yeah, it's insane.
$375 million.
Yeah, that's easy math, but yeah.
That's obviously easy math.
Yeah.
Like the math could be completely swayed in one way or other way, right? Yeah. But you're in the hundreds of millions. Easy, right? There's no way that this music festival with that many people is not making that kind of money with $1,000 that each person is spending Canadian.
It's
okay?
crazy.
But I'm just giving you an understanding that 15 years have passed. This music festival has gathered so much attention, so much awareness to where it is now. They've really or whoever had the idea really poked the world in a certain way, which really made sense. If you're stuck with a business and you're doing it and you're doing it and you're doing it, and all of a sudden 20 years pass or 10 years pass and you're not seeing some sort of success which you want to see,
You better move the shit on.
maybe. Yeah, but then on the other side of my perspective, I'm thinking that what if maybe that's what you really want to do and that's how you want to spend your life, is just kind of netting $60,000 or $100,000 a year.
It's like wine. It depends on who you are.
Exactly, depends on exactly who you are. So, from my perspective, I want the world more. Maybe I'm just filthy greedy, but each their own, right? I'm not saying greedy, but like
I'm just saying.
I think that my perspective, I would love to make a lot of money and have something which is globally renowned for what that company stands for and it provides to people. And where we have been brought up and where what we are currently doing has to do with commodity sourced revenue. Everything is based off of agriculture, which is in a commodity.
It's make something, sell something, make something, sell
That's
something.
right. Make something, sell something, make something, sell something. It's not drop shipping. It's not an app. It's not Uber. It's not anything that is currently in modern social construct of news. Like, it's not an IPO or anything. So I'm always trying to figure out in my brain cells is how to take something and really blow it up to where it is. Currently, we're in the thick of strawberry season. We can literally pick 250 flats a day, which is, a good $15,000. You're making $10,000. You're making in revenue of sales right out the door. That's being wholesaled to our local clients. Being that level is accomplishment, and I'm proud of where I am myself today. But I'm trying to figure out how to really take that and to make $25,000 a day. Doubling that, tripling that, and making that kind of money. And making it consistently in different parts of the business to where I'm happy with it for myself, for my family to be, for my current family, for everyone around me, for my employees. And it's super difficult because of the different complications that we have for it. And I can speak to it only for what I know, right? And so what I'm seeing right now for strawberry season is that there's a surplus. I'm calling all of my current buyers that were wanting berries in the middle of July when no one had strawberries, and I'm trying my best to sell all the berries that we have, and we're gonna thank grace of God where everything's gonna be sold. But I'm sure there's strawberry farmers out there that are really struggling with what they're doing, because if you're just going out and planting the run-of-mill of variety, run-of-mill strawberries and run-of-mill way, you're gonna have a surplus. You're gonna have way more berries than you're able to sell to local clientele that really want them, because people have berries everywhere. And if you don't have good quality, if you don't have good packaging, if you don't have good distribution, you're duped. People won't buy from you. People won't want your berries. People won't eat your berries. Maybe they will the first couple of times, but they won't be able to sell the berries themselves. And if they're not able to sell the berries, who are you as a farmer? You're not doing a good job. So it's so difficult from that perspective of looking at a commodity base. So how are we supposed to really, reinvent the wheel or reinvent how that's done? And there's only a couple of ways to go about it. And I do think that we're doing it, but there's obstacles that come into play. And that really makes you think about, man, how are you really spending your time in your business and what you're doing? What should you be doing? There's so much emotion obviously invested into what you're doing, but you have to be like Kevin O'Leary is. You have to be like, man, if it doesn't make business sense, you have to be strong enough to cut the dead weight and move on.
Business is competition. Competition is war.
Literally.
End of the day, like, if you're not making money, you're basically losing.
Yep.
You're losing.
Yep.
Like, you're talking about, speaking about those farmers that like are picking berries and not able to sell their berries. That's their fault.
100%.
That's their fault.
100%.
And like, you've innovated to sell to consumers that resell your product at a higher margin.
Yep.
Versus all these farmers that are still doing the same thing they were doing for 50 years. Now it's not working anymore. Right? Like, we literally have farmers that come to our place. It happened the other day. It's like, oh, can you take my raspberries out and make for wine? I'm like, no, we don't need them. Because they can't sell them to somewhere else. Like, the cannery or the processing plants will stop taking them. Which has happened all the time. Right?
There are farmers which are calling us and saying, "Are you able to take our raspberries like literally every day or every other day?" Where the raspberries and strawberries.
Yeah.
The blueberry price right now that they got quoted from machine is 60 cents
Yeah, it's shit.
a pound for
It's
machine
shit.
picked. That's crazy.
You're making like nothing.
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 Nothing. And
Yeah.
people who have 100, 200, 300 acres maybe are making something on top of it because of scalability. But if you have 20, 30 acres, good luck.
It's still they're stupid too, because I'm not saying like in a bad way, but like they like the way the traditional farmer thinks is cash in, cash out.
Yep.
It's like, oh, they have cash on hand in the summer. It's like in the winter they're gonna be broke because they spend it all. They don't budget properly,
Uh-huh.
right? Because like, oh, they're selling all these berries now, but like, are they really making margin on those berries, or are they just breaking even?
No, because they're unaware of their cost of goods sold.
100%.
That's completely what it is.
Yeah, and then if you're in a business, like you can't do that.
No way. No way. If you're in the business of
war,
making
dude.
money, you can't be doing that.
It's
That's
war.
100%.
Yeah.
But it really makes me think of coming back to Tomorrowland, that they've scaled to the way they are.
Oh, they're
And
massive.
how are we supposed to scale to where we are? That just
It's massive.
boils my blood daily. I think about it on a daily basis
Slowly
of how to really
surely.
get there. And I think back to like where you and I have really got involved in the business, and it's been from Nappa from what, 2014,
Yeah.
2015. 2015 really got that bit the market hard, right? So that was
That was a
only
shit
4
show.
years ago.
I think
And-
that was a good thing, long term.
Yeah, obviously, but
Yeah.
2015 we got to. We've only been doing this for 4 years.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You know, really, literally. Well,
Yeah.
mom and dad have been doing it for so long, right? So it's been awesome to see where we are now, but it's also, we have to, if you're not continuously reinnovating the wheel, you're continuously not pushing the envelope a little farther, jumping a little closer to the line and seeing how far you can push it, you're not doing yourself any favors. And that is a lot of work on a day in, day out basis to re-educate yourself of how Facebook ads work, of how we can provide a better haunted corner maze experience, how to really grow our strawberries in a more innovative way. I don't think that I'm an accomplished strawberry grower, but I know that I'm way better than I was 6 years ago. But there's things that I'm learning about strawberries which I never knew before. For example, the new variety which we planted, San Andreas, it is a completely different animal that I never predicated it to be. I never thought it would be like that. Because Albion, I've been growing it exactly the way that I have for the past 3 years. And this harvest that we're going to get for Albion, oh my god, it's unreal. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's next level. It blows my world apart. Like, there's so many strawberries right there in that area. You can walk 1 foot and pick 2 flats. So many strawberries. And that's what I'm saying. If you're such a good farmer, you have to think about your distribution strategy. And that comes with time. Everything comes with time. But you still have to continuously figure out how to be a better strawberry farmer. You have to figure out how to distribute your berries better. You have to figure out how to make sure your berries are stored better, or do better marketing for your berries. It's because it's just a commodity. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. You always have to reinvent
Yeah.
your wheel.
Yeah, it comes down to a few things. I think you have to be like, you have to like be, like, it has to be like your passion to do what you do. Like, you have to be thinking about it 24/7.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's the difference between like average and great. It's like you're mentally thinking about it all the time. Like, even if I was like, when I was like partying and shit, like I was thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about those things. Like, this company's freaking massive,
Yeah.
right? It's like, that's the difference between average and great.
I think the biggest difference between people who dream about it and people who actually work for people who dream about it, or people who dream about it and work for other people, is the people who actually execute and get the job done.
100%.
There's so much work that I think that I still need to do, but I know that if I look back in the past few days, I've accomplished so much in my day-to-day basis that I thought that I had to do the days before that. And it's just every single day you have to get shit done. There's no day that you can sleep in, especially in the thick of things, which we are right now in the summertime. If I were to just go take a day off right now, holy shit. Like, we have to go away for freaking Vegas for 9. That's stressful.
Yeah, I know.
You've been taking 2 weeks off. You didn't
You know,
jack shit.
okay, okay. This is the thing I took away from the trip too. Is like, I went away for a week and nothing blew up. Okay, that's a nice thing. Okay,
Obviously.
you can think about that. Nothing blew up.
That's so true.
Sure, if I was there, I would have moved the needle a little further than anybody else. But that sometimes you just gotta sacrifice. You know.
That's very true.
Yeah.
100%. We had a lot to talk about this podcast episode number 15. We tried Bodacious Smooth Red in a can and in a bottle.
Can
We talked
suck.
about how to saying a can suck. We talked about how to push the needle a little further on a daily basis. I rambled a lot like I usually do. And my brother really went into the basics of canning wine, why it's a good idea and why it's not a good idea. We hope you guys enjoyed it, loved it. Hope you guys share. It's something new that we've been doing. It's only episode number 15. And we're excited to get to episode number 150, 1500, 15,000.